The Puma, also known as the Sonderkraftfahrzeug 234-2, is a German light tank at the BR 2.7, and this fast vehicle can cause a lot of trouble on the battlefield. Welcome to my new guide. As always, this is how I like to play this vehicle and have the best matches in it. I used it around its BR, but since it is fast, has a good gun and the next light tank for Germany only appears at rank 4, some players also use it in higher BRs, but for now I focus on matches around rank 2. Tip number 1. Manage the match. This sounds like an odd tip, but it really is the strength of the Puma. With a light tank you are able to flank and scout enemies. Especially in realistic battles, it is a huge advantage to know where the enemy is. I like to use the speed of the Puma and get into a position where I have an eye on at least 2 capture points, if possible, and where I still can shoot at the side armor of the enemy. Since the Puma has no armor, I stay hull down and use the binoculars to scout enemies for my team. Only when the enemy is focused on the battle in front of him, I peek over the ridgeline and shoot on the side of this tank. After I destroyed the enemy, did some damage or have the feeling that I was exposed too long, I back up again into the safe hull down position. The enemy will have a hard time sneaking up on your teammates. Tip number 2. Scout enemies. The Puma is a light tank and therefore able to scout enemies actively. This means you can highlight hostile tanks when you look through your binoculars or when you are in sniping mode. Point the center of the binoculars or crosshair on the enemy and use the corresponding key to highlight the enemy for 30 seconds. This not only gives you a small reward of silver lions and research points, it also shows your teammates where the enemy is. When your teammates now damage or destroy the enemy while he is highlighted, you get an additional reward of silver lions and research points. It is a win-win situation, except for the enemy. Sometimes the active scouting doesn't work that well, especially when enemies are further away. And when you miss the target, you will get a long penalty for that. So make sure to be on target when you scout on long ranges. On the other hand, I also made the experience that you don't have to aim on a tank to scout it when you are in close range. When I see an action, like a shot or the popping of smoke, I just point in this direction, hit the active scouting key and it works, although I never saw the tank. Use the mobility of the Puma, because it has a fast forward and backward speed. When you can handle the sluggy steering at top speed, you will be able to get to some good positions at the beginning of the match, but only on maps that don't have snow, sand or a lot of mud on it. The wheels of the Puma slow it down on this terrain. Use the mobility to your advantage, shoot over ridgelines while using the gun depression and peek and boom around corners. The fast reload time in combination with a very fast reverse enables you to fire around a corner and then backing up and flanking again. This speed also allows you to capture objectives fast at the start of the match. But I can't recommend that, since your teammates won't get any spawn points and most likely you will get destroyed by an enemy medium or heavy tank that is also on its way to the capture point. When you hear the sound of a plane or some bullets hitting the ground beside you, run. You are the favorite target of planes because the Puma is really squishy. The enemy players probably want to stop you from scouting their whole team all of the time. Another advantage is that light tanks are able to help in doing repairs. So you can also stick around teammates and help them, but most of the time there is a reason why they need to do repairs. So think twice if you want to drive into the line of fire of the enemy or the artillery that is coming down on your teammate. As I said, I had the best matches where I was flanking and managing the match from a hull down position. I hope you liked this video. Like, subscribe and leave a comment if you want to, and join my Discord server for more information and to connect with other players. Hope to see you in game soon.